Have you ever wondered why certain people walk into your life at the exact moment you need them, even when you don't realize you need them? Why a stranger's words hit you deeper than conversations you've had for years? Or why someone appears right when your life is shifting? Some call it coincidence, but deep down, you know it's something far greater. Because the truth is simple: you meet no one by accident. There is a profound truth hidden within the ordinary flow of our lives. Every encounter carries a message. Most people move through the world believing that meetings are random, that conversations happen by chance, and that the people who cross their path do so without meaning or intention. Yet if you look closely, if you slow down long enough to feel the patterns, you begin to realize that there is nothing accidental about the connections you make. Every person you meet is a doorway to deeper understanding, a mirror reflecting some part of your own inner world, or a messenger carrying something you are meant to hear. Sometimes the message is obvious. Someone appears in your life with exactly the advice, encouragement, or perspective you needed at that moment. They speak a sentence that rearranges your entire mindset, or they reveal a path you didn't even know was an option. Moments like these feel too aligned to ignore. You walk away feeling as if the universe gently placed them in your path, as if something larger than your logic was guiding the timing. But most of the time, the messages people bring are subtle. You may not recognize them until months or even years later. A brief encounter with a stranger may plant a seed that slowly grows into confidence. A few words from someone you barely know might push you to question a belief you've held for decades. Sometimes the message is not in what they say, but in how they make you feel. A person might stir anger, jealousy, hope, admiration, or discomfort. And each emotion becomes a signal. It invites you to ask what that emotion is trying to reveal about you. Encounters also reveal the unspoken truths of your own inner landscape. The people you attract or feel drawn to often reflect the parts of yourself you're avoiding, developing, or longing to reclaim. When someone makes you feel small or insecure, the message is not simply about them. It is about the wound they touched within you. When someone inspires you, the message may be that they embody qualities you want to awaken. When someone irritates you for no clear reason, the message may come from the shadow within you that you've been unwilling to face. Every interaction uncovers something you may not have noticed if life had not sent that person your way. There are also the painful encounters, the ones that break you open. These people carry heavy messages, the kind that force growth. They show you your boundaries by crossing them. They show you your worth by making you question it. They reveal what you tolerate, what you ignore, and what you must finally walk away from. These individuals do not come into your life to destroy you, though it may feel that way. They come to show you what you must outgrow or heal. They teach resilience, clarity, and courage. Their message is often wrapped in suffering, but once you understand it, that very suffering becomes a turning point. On the other side of the spectrum are the gentle encounters, the people who bring warmth, encouragement, and unexpected kindness. Their message is subtle but powerful. You are not alone, you are seen, and the world contains goodness you may have forgotten. These moments remind you of your own value and your own capacity to influence others with kindness. Sometimes the message is simply that connection is possible, even when you have convinced yourself that it isn't. If you think back on your life, you will notice that certain encounters changed your direction completely. You met someone who pulled you into a new career, introduced you to a new belief, or opened your eyes to a truth you had overlooked. You may not have realized it at the time, but their message shaped the trajectory of your entire journey. Life often sends these people just when you are ready to grow, ready to evolve, ready to become the next version of yourself. Even fleeting interactions carry their own kind of wisdom. A brief smile from a stranger can pull you out of a dark mood. A short conversation can shift your perspective. A chance meeting can restore your hope. These experiences are tiny reminders that the smallest gestures can hold the biggest meaning. Life communicates through people more often than through signs, symbols, or events. Encounters are the language through which your inner world whispers to you, guiding you toward deeper awareness. And so, when someone enters your life, pay attention. Notice how they make you feel, what they awaken within you, and what thoughts rise to the surface. Observe whether they bring peace or friction, comfort or challenge. Every encounter carries a message, because every encounter reflects a part of your own unfolding journey, waiting to be understood. Beneath the surface of conscious awareness, beneath the thoughts you think and the choices you believe you make, there exists a hidden force quietly shaping your life. It is not visible, not measurable by logic, and yet it orchestrates the encounters, relationships, and connections that define your journey. This is your unconscious mind, the deep, unspoken part of yourself that carries your desires, fears, unresolved emotions, and innate wisdom. And it is this unconscious that guides your connections, drawing people toward you long before your conscious mind even notices. Most of the time, we believe that relationships and encounters are governed by chance or deliberate choice. We convince ourselves that we meet people because we happen to be in the right place at the right time, or because we consciously decided to engage. But the truth is far more intricate. The unconscious mind operates like an invisible magnet, pulling certain people into your orbit because they resonate with aspects of your inner world. It sees what your conscious mind cannot, recognizing patterns, needs, and opportunities for growth that you are not yet aware of. When someone appears in your life seemingly out of nowhere, it is rarely random. The unconscious has been preparing both of you for that meeting long before you arrived. It aligns circumstances, timing, and emotional readiness in a subtle, invisible choreography. Perhaps you feel inexplicably drawn to a stranger, or a friend reaches out at a moment when their words feel profoundly meaningful. These experiences are orchestrated not by logic, but by the unseen forces within you that know exactly what you need, even if you do not. The unconscious communicates through emotions, intuition, and subtle signals. Sometimes it is a feeling of familiarity with someone you've just met, a sense that they belong in your life even if you cannot explain why. Sometimes it is tension or discomfort, indicating that this person mirrors a part of yourself that you have yet to integrate. When your mind wonders why a relationship is so intense or why a casual acquaintance leaves a lasting impression, the answer often lies in the unconscious patterns being activated. These patterns reveal desires, wounds, and strengths you may not consciously acknowledge, and the people who enter your life act as catalysts for this revelation. Even in cases where relationships seem difficult or even painful, the unconscious is at work. It brings people into your orbit who challenge you, provoke strong reactions, or force you to confront your fears and insecurities. While your conscious mind might resist these encounters, your unconscious recognizes them as essential opportunities for growth. The friction, discomfort, or conflict you experience is not arbitrary, it is a reflection of unexamined aspects of yourself. Through these connections, your unconscious teaches you lessons that logic alone could never deliver. The timing of connections is also directed by the unconscious. You may meet someone at the exact moment you are ready to receive the lesson they carry, even if you have no idea that the lesson is needed. Similarly, the unconscious may delay or prevent encounters until the emotional, mental, or spiritual conditions are aligned. This explains why certain meetings feel fated while others, even if desired, fail to materialize. Your inner world is always preparing the conditions for meaningful encounters, orchestrating synchronicities in ways that feel miraculous but are, in reality, expressions of deep psychological alignment. Your unconscious also serves as a mirror through relationships. The qualities you admire, envy, or dislike in others often reflect traits within yourself. You attract people who reflect your strengths, weaknesses, and unacknowledged potential. Someone who inspires you might embody qualities you have not yet claimed for yourself. Someone who irritates or frustrates you may reveal unresolved patterns that demand attention. Every connection becomes a subtle dialogue between your conscious awareness and the depths of your unconscious, a conversation that guides your personal development in ways you cannot always consciously recognize. Even fleeting interactions carry the fingerprints of the unconscious. A chance smile, a brief conversation, a passing glance. These encounters may seem trivial, yet they are carefully orchestrated by unseen psychological currents. The unconscious recognizes opportunities for learning, healing, and growth in ways your conscious mind often overlooks. Over time, the patterns become clearer, the people who appear repeatedly, the seemingly random coincidences, and the intensity of certain connections all point to the influence of the unseen mind silently guiding your journey. To truly understand your relationships, it is essential to listen to the unconscious. Pay attention to your feelings, impulses, and intuitions when engaging with others. Notice who draws you in, who repels you, and who leaves a lasting impression without explanation. By observing these patterns, you begin to see that your unconscious is not a passive observer, but an active force, steering your connections toward experiences that will awaken challenge and transform you in profound ways. Painful relationships are often the hardest to endure, yet they are among the most transformative experiences we can encounter. At first, they feel like mistakes, accidents, or punishments. We may wonder why certain people enter our lives only to bring conflict, heartbreak, or disappointment. We may ask ourselves what we did to deserve such experiences or how we can avoid them in the future. Yet beneath the surface of frustration and pain lies a profound truth. These relationships are not random, and they are not without purpose. They exist to teach clarity, to strip away illusions, and to reveal truths about ourselves and our lives that we might otherwise never see. One of the first lessons painful relationships teach is self-awareness. When someone challenges us repeatedly, triggers strong emotions, or behaves in ways that frustrate us, we are confronted with our own patterns and blind spots. These encounters act as mirrors, reflecting back the habits, fears, or unresolved wounds that we carry. For instance, if a person consistently betrays our trust, the relationship may reveal unresolved issues with boundaries, self-worth, or forgiveness. Painful relationships often force us to look inward and ask difficult questions about who we are, what we tolerate, and what we truly value. In this sense, they become teachers, guiding us toward a clearer understanding of ourselves. Another way painful relationships foster clarity is by illuminating the difference between appearance and reality. Many of us enter relationships with expectations or idealized notions about others. We may see someone as caring, trustworthy, or loving, only to discover over time that their behavior contradicts these assumptions. These experiences can be jarring, yet they are powerful opportunities to refine our perception. Through conflict, disappointment, or betrayal, we learn to recognize what is authentic and what is superficial. Painful relationships strip away illusions, showing us the truth about people, circumstances, and even our own expectations. Painful relationships also teach clarity about boundaries. They reveal what we are willing to accept and what we are not, often in stark and unavoidable ways. When someone repeatedly disrespects, manipulates, or hurts us, the relationship confronts us with a choice: continue tolerating behavior that diminishes us or take steps to protect ourselves. These situations illuminate our limits, making us more conscious of our needs and more confident in asserting them. In this way, difficult encounters act as guides, helping us cultivate discernment and self-respect. Without such challenges, we might never fully understand how to define and defend the boundaries that are essential to our well-being. Moreover, painful relationships teach clarity by highlighting the dynamics we unconsciously attract. Often, we are drawn to people who reflect unresolved patterns from our past, repeating familiar conflicts, emotional triggers, or dependency loops. When these dynamics emerge in a relationship, they can be intensely uncomfortable, but they also provide insight into our own psyche. By observing our reactions, triggers, and choices, we gain a deeper understanding of why we engage with certain types of people and how to break unhealthy cycles. Painful relationships serve as a mirror for our inner world, clarifying patterns that would otherwise remain hidden. The lessons of clarity extend to the understanding of emotional resilience as well. Painful relationships test our capacity to endure discomfort, process difficult emotions, and respond with awareness rather than impulse. They force us to navigate the tension between attachment and detachment, forgiveness and accountability, vulnerability and protection. By facing these challenges, we gain clarity about what we truly need in relationships, what is negotiable, and what is non-negotiable. The clarity that emerges is not only about others, but also about our own strength, values, and priorities. Even the endings of painful relationships carry messages of clarity. When a relationship reaches its natural conclusion, whether through separation, distance, or transformation, it often reveals what we were meant to learn. Sometimes the lesson is about letting go, sometimes it is about self-empowerment, and sometimes it is about recognizing our own role in shaping the experiences we attract. Each painful encounter contributes to a larger tapestry of understanding, teaching us to see relationships not merely as sources of pleasure or pain, but as opportunities for insight, growth, and discernment. Ultimately, painful relationships serve as a clarifying force because they strip away complacency, denial, and illusion. They push us to examine our own emotions, expectations, and patterns, illuminating truths that might otherwise remain obscured. They sharpen our perception of ourselves and others, refine our sense of boundaries, and deepen our understanding of the complexities of human connection. Through their challenges, we begin to see more clearly who we are, what we need, and how we are meant to engage with the world and the people within it. Life often presents us with moments that seem too perfectly timed to be mere chance. You might think of them as coincidences, but there is a subtle, almost mystical quality to these experiences that makes them feel significant. A meaningful coincidence is not just a random alignment of events, it is a signal, a message that the universe, or perhaps your deeper self, is communicating with you. These coincidences carry guidance, insight, or validation, and they often appear precisely when you need them most, nudging you toward awareness, growth, or understanding. Meaningful coincidences operate on a level beyond logic. You may find yourself thinking of someone you haven't seen in years, only to run into them unexpectedly the very next day. You might feel drawn to a book, a quote, or a place, and discover that it contains the answer to a question that has been troubling you. These moments have a way of arresting your attention, creating a sense of wonder or even awe. They are not random. They are orchestrated signals that align with your inner state, your subconscious intentions, or the timing of your life's unfolding. At their core, these coincidences are mirrors of your inner world. When something unusual happens that it resonates deeply with your current situation, it reflects your unspoken needs, desires, or concerns. For example, when you are grappling with a difficult decision and a conversation with a stranger unexpectedly provides clarity, that encounter is more than chance, it is a signal. It indicates that you are on the right track, or that you need to pay attention to a detail you may have overlooked. The world communicates with you through these subtle alignments, using coincidences as a language that your conscious mind may initially struggle to interpret. Meaningful coincidences are also catalysts for awareness. They can prompt introspection, forcing you to question why a particular event occurred, why you noticed it, and what it might mean. A single moment, a repeated number on a clock, a song that appears at the right time, or a serendipitous meeting can ignite insight, connecting seemingly unrelated aspects of your life into a coherent pattern. These moments demand attention, encouraging you to listen to your intuition and to consider the unseen forces that shape your experiences. Furthermore, meaningful coincidences often appear at critical junctures in life, serving as signals that something important is unfolding. They may mark transitions, guide choices, or illuminate paths that were previously invisible. A chance meeting with someone who becomes a mentor, a friend, or a partner may feel preordained, signaling that your inner readiness aligns with the opportunity presented. Similarly, a series of seemingly unrelated events that converge around a particular goal or question often carry the unmistakable weight of purpose, suggesting that the universe, or your deeper self, is guiding you toward insight or action. These coincidences also encourage trust in the unseen currents of life. When events align in ways that defy probability, it becomes clear that life is not governed solely by randomness or control. There is a subtle intelligence at work, an invisible thread that connects people, places, and moments according to patterns that our conscious minds may not fully comprehend. Recognizing these coincidences as signals allows us to move with curiosity and openness rather than fear or skepticism. They remind us that there is order in apparent chaos and meaning within the seemingly mundane. The emotional impact of meaningful coincidences is significant as well. They often provoke a sense of wonder, amazement, or reassurance, signaling that you are noticed, supported, or aligned with something greater than yourself. This emotional resonance amplifies the significance of the coincidence, making it memorable and, in many cases, transformative. When you experience such moments repeatedly, you begin to notice a rhythm or pattern in your life, a subtle choreography of events that guides your choices, clarifies your path, and affirms your intuition. Paying attention to meaningful coincidences requires presence and awareness. Many such signals go unnoticed because we are distracted, skeptical, or too focused on our routines. Yet when you cultivate mindfulness, curiosity, and openness, these coincidences become more apparent. You begin to recognize them not as accidents, but as markers. Messages embedded in the flow of life, pointing toward insight, guidance, and growth. They are reminders that life is interconnected, that your inner world and outer experiences are in constant dialogue, and that the signals are always available for those willing to notice them. Ultimately, meaningful coincidences are far more than random events. They are signals carefully woven into the fabric of life, carrying wisdom, prompting reflection, and guiding action. They illuminate unseen connections, provide reassurance, and offer opportunities for learning and transformation, inviting you to interpret their significance, respond consciously, and align with the unfolding patterns of your journey. Life has a remarkable way of delivering experiences, people, and opportunities that align with our inner readiness. The principle is simple, yet often overlooked. You attract what you're ready for. This does not mean that every desire is immediately fulfilled, or that every longing is instantly manifested. Rather, it suggests that the universe, or the deeper currents of your own being, mirrors your state of development, consciousness, and awareness. The people, situations, and events that enter your life are not random. They are reflections of what you have prepared yourself to receive, understand, and integrate. At the heart of this idea lies personal growth. Before certain opportunities or relationships can enter your life, there is an internal preparation that must occur. You must develop the emotional maturity, clarity, and resilience necessary to engage with what appears. For instance, a new friendship or romantic relationship may offer profound connection, but it can only flourish if you are capable of giving and receiving trust. A career opportunity may be transformative, but it requires a level of skill, confidence, and responsibility to be truly beneficial. The world responds to your inner state, offering what you are ready to handle, understand, and appreciate. This concept is particularly evident in relationships. People often wonder why certain individuals appear in their lives at the right time, while others remain absent despite longing or effort. The timing is rarely accidental. You attract those who reflect your inner growth, your emotional awareness, and your readiness for transformation. Someone who enters your life may mirror qualities you have cultivated, desires you have nurtured, or lessons you have learned. Conversely, if you are not ready for a particular dynamic, that person may remain distant, a situation may be delayed, or the connection may not unfold fully. Life waits until the inner groundwork is laid. Attracting what you are ready for is also a matter of alignment. Your thoughts, beliefs, and energies create an invisible field that draws circumstances and people into your experience. If you are harboring unresolved fears, self-doubt, or unhealed wounds, the world often mirrors these states back to you, manifesting situations that challenge, test, or confront you. These experiences are signals, not punishments, highlighting areas that require growth. When you actively cultivate clarity, self-awareness, and intention, the opportunities and connections you attract become more aligned with your aspirations, values, and potential. Moreover, readiness is not always about perfection. It is about openness, willingness, and awareness. You do not need to have all the answers or have mastered every skill to attract meaningful experiences. Rather, you need a readiness to engage fully, to learn, and to respond with awareness. Life presents what you are capable of receiving and integrating at each stage, and this process is dynamic. What you are ready for today may differ from what you are ready for tomorrow, reflecting your ongoing evolution, emotional growth, and spiritual expansion. Sometimes the principle of readiness manifests in subtle ways. You may notice patterns of synchronicity or timing that seem almost magical. A mentor appears just when you are struggling to make sense of a challenge. A book or idea enters your awareness precisely when it provides the insight you need. A job opportunity arises exactly when you have acquired the skills and confidence to step into it. These experiences are not coincidental. They are orchestrated in alignment with your inner readiness, guiding you toward your next step. Readiness also shapes the quality of your experiences. When you attract what you are prepared for, you are more likely to respond with grace, wisdom, and presence. You are able to see opportunities clearly, make conscious choices, and engage with challenges constructively. Conversely, encountering something for which you are unprepared may lead to frustration, confusion, or missed potential. Life teaches through these contrasts, helping you recognize the connection between inner preparation and external experience, and encouraging you to cultivate the qualities necessary to meet your evolving journey. The process of attracting what you are ready for is deeply empowering. It shifts the focus from external striving to internal cultivation. Instead of forcing outcomes, chasing people, or trying to manipulate circumstances, you learn to invest in your own growth, emotional maturity, and clarity. By aligning your inner world with your aspirations, you naturally magnetize experiences and relationships that reflect your readiness. This principle reminds you that life is not merely a series of random events, but a dialogue between your inner development and the unfolding of your journey, where every attraction is an invitation, every connection a reflection, and every opportunity a mirror of your readiness